and technology can't. Social learning. This is what learning is about. It's about exchanging ideas, developing learning through interaction, through being asked good questions, which move your thinking forward. Machines cannot do this, maybe not yet. So social learning is about interaction, discussion, collaboration. That's what machines cannot bring to assessment or to learning. Teachers can also develop higher order thinking skills, and this phrase came up a few times, I think in Michael's talk, and then in Simon's and Martin's talk. Higher order thinking skills are opposed to lower order thinking skills. Lower order thinking skills are skills such as understanding, memorizing. Higher order thinking skills are about evaluating, putting something into practice, critiquing something. So it's about being a critical user of the content you have. Machines cannot do this. Teachers can with well-chosen questions. Teachers can focus on skills and application of knowledge. Machines can really just focus on knowledge, checking that knowledge has been acquired. And also, teachers can create positive learning climates. They can focus on interpersonal skills in the classroom. Technology can't. It's very limited to this. Even though my kids tell me their friends online are just as good as talking to their friends in the same room, but that's the case. Technology is limited there. What can both technology and teachers do? Focus on knowledge. In fact, if technology can do it, better to leave it to the technology. Leave time in the classroom for the things technology cannot do, such as higher order thinking skills, social learning, interaction, communication, discussion. So if technology can do something, I think it is not good use of teachers' time to be focusing on that thing. That should be left to the technology to do. Adaptive learning, as we talked, both teachers and machines can do it. Teachers on a much smaller scale. Both can mark student work, so if the machine can take some of that burden off teachers, the machine should. Whenever I've talked about this idea to teachers, the aha moment has been so obvious, and they've said, yes, so next time I give a student an essay to my students, I'm going to say, put it through write and improve before I see it. So they need to work on 2 drafts. So they develop the idea of process writing as well. Or they might ask their students to get their essay analyzed by a machine, and then they just add, the teacher marks it as well, but focusing on different aspects of that writing. So there can be very useful division of labor there. Record keeping, we mentioned that, feedback, and motivation. Young people learn in the digital age. This is part of their life. They've got a machine in their pocket that is magical. It does everything. It connects them to their friends. It gives them content. They need this because their classroom should not be divorced too much from what happens in their real life. So technology increases motivation as well. Okay, what can technology do that teachers cannot? There are some things. Big data. Technology can accumulate banks of data which can be then used to support teacher decisions. Ongoing assessment. We live in a culture still, unfortunately, where there's a division between formative and summative, and where there's a learn, teach, then you stop and you test. But I think technology can really integrate assessment and learning in a much more meaningful way, because assessment, and by assessment I don't mean a summative test, I mean learning checks. That can be ongoing, providing evidence for the teacher then to base their next lesson plan on. Instant feedback, very, very useful to have that feedback instantly on what you can and cannot do. 24/7 global access. No teacher would like to be accessible 24/7 all the time. Not a single teacher would like this. Technology can take this off. Technology can avoid bias, fatigue, and burnout. This is maybe obvious. It's worth repeating, reminding ourselves. We're complex human beings. We can do things machines cannot do, but we carry biases, consciously or unconsciously, because of our complexity. Machines are not biased, except for the philosophy that the algorithm was built on, but that's a separate question. Okay, so just to sum up, based on what I've talked about, technology, digital, where are we going in terms of learning and assessment? These are just some ideas. There are many, many more, but just something to get you thinking. I think much more integration of learning and assessment, that division of what happens in the classroom and then what happens in the test room, I think will be blurred much more. So there'll be much more integration of assessment being ongoing throughout the learning process.